a secluded island in the Hebrides off the west coast of Scotland, grieving after the death of his wife, this famous author put pen in hand and began to write the words that are now famous. It was a bright and cold day in April, and the clocks were striking 13. The novel was titled 1984. It was written only months before George Orwell's death. And it is a story of a negative utopia gripped by totalitarianism. After the bloody events of a world war, society decided with the help of the people as accomplices with the government that we didn't want violence anymore, and the way we would conquer it is through control. Control of the human body, control of the human soul, even control of the human spirit. It immediately became a bestseller, and George Orwell, whose real name is Eric Blair, he lays out a stunning picture of a society so full of fear and under complete subjection. He lays it out so clearly that some have rightly questioned whether 1984 is a novel or a prophecy. With stunning detail, he describes a government that is so invasive it seems to be able to police thought. Ominous signs hang everywhere that declare Big Brother is watching you with an all-seeing eye that seems to follow you wherever you go. Big Brother was the ruler of Oceania, the fictional nation that he had concocted. The media was called, get this, the Ministry of Truth. The War Department, the Ministry of Peace. The Department of Law and Order, the Ministry of Love. They had changed the very meaning of words as a part of their transformation of truth. In Oceania, in the book 1984, 2 plus 2 equaled 5. And the people were glad to believe it. They had so conditioned the minds of the people that they did not say 2 plus 2 equals 5 because they were fearful of persecution or because they were afraid of what would happen. They actually believed. Because they had so manipulated speech and so manipulated the value of words. It sounds like what's happening today in America, where they manipulate speech and they say things that sound so appealing and so pleasing. Pro-choice. Who wouldn't be? Them. A baby doesn't have a choice. Oh, here's a good saying. Love wins. Yeah, it will. Through hell, fire, and brimstone, it'll win. Whatever has to be done, it'll win. God will do whatever he has to do to redeem your sin-sick soul. And every home in the book 1984, get this, Orwell said they had what was called a telescreen. These telescreens were installed to give the government the ability to see and hear all that was being done and felt. And the thought police invaded all privacy. Individuality was obsolete, and to have a personality was a crime. Orwell spoke of a time when government would be able to speak to the whole nation at one time with blasting horns and telescreens. Are you hearing this? What makes this fascinating is that 1984, these prognostications were not made in 1984. The book was not written in the 80s. It wasn't written in the 70s or even the 60s or the 50s. But in 1948, Orwell penned these words, that there would be a telescreen in every house, and that through that the government would be able to see and hear everything. What he was predicting was the complete subjugation of the human personality. And my dear brother and sister, if it were not for the grace and mercy of God, we would be there already today. We have been teetering and tottering on the edge of this type of totalitarian system for a long, long time. And Orwell's dystopian prophecy would already be a reality if it weren't for the revivals of the 20th century after the Second World War, the revival of the charismatic renewal, the revival of the prosperity movement, the revival of the word of faith renewal, the revival of the healing movement. If it weren't for those moves of God, the hand of the spirit of Antichrist would already be laid on more of our society than we see it being laid today. But tonight, as we stand on the edge of 2018, we have come to another tipping point. Political masterminds partnered with entertainment gurus have already launched campaigns to tell you that 2 + 2 = 5. And they will make those who disagree look like fools. They will take people who love one another and make them hate one another. Children hating their parents. Parents despising their children. Pastors separated and divided. Pitting us one against the other, they'll manage to control us. Because without agreement, we lose our power in prayer. Are you getting this tonight? 2018 is the cloud before the storm.